Hello, this is Daniel, and I'm going electric for the average person, coming to you today from suburban Detroit on my way to Chicago. I'm going to talk about the RPM Tesla road noise and wind noise reduction kits. I'm not going to play all the videos of me installing it myself because one, I'm doing it in a parking lot in a hotel. Two, I'm on my own, so I can't video myself. And three, there are a lot of great installation videos on the RPM Tesla website itself. What I will do is set up my camera and do like a little time-lapse video. And then when I get to Chicago, after a couple hours of driving, I'll let you know if the kit was effective. Here you can see the two kits together. The first one is the noise reduction kit for $29.99, which is a single elastic silicone rubber seal that you put around the glass roof. The other is the 10-piece set road noise reduction kit, generation number 2, for $56.36. That includes 2 front door seals, 2 back door seals, a front trunk, back trunk, A-pillar, and B-pillar seals. You know, I probably should just pay someone to do this for me. I'm not a car detailer by trade, so I'm probably going to screw it up somehow, but we'll try. I'm on my own. I'm traveling around America. I have this kit, and I want to see if it works. Let's begin. Take a look at this time-lapse video. You can see that I cleaned the ledges of the door of any grime with rubbing alcohol. I applied the first seal on the driver's side door, both on the back side of it and then on the front A-pillar portion. Then I went to the driver's side back door and placed the rubber seal along the edge and the bottom of the door. I then put on the B-pillar door seal, went to the passenger side, did the same, also then applied the seal along the back of the trunk, and then also on the front of the car. This is somewhat problematic because the door is not closing. I mean, perhaps I got it a little too far out, but as you can tell, the window's not making a seal and it's not closing all the way. Well, that was a bit of a fail. I've just had to tear it off because the door wouldn't close. Now, when you look in Japanese and you read that, that says left versus right. So I put this one on the left door, and based on the video replay, it appears to not be the correct piece to put on the left door. So I've had to pull it off, and now you can see I've got all this sticky stuff here, which I'm gonna have to try to get off my door. Oh my God, that was a royal pain in the butt. I just had to like rub and rub and roll and rub and pull and tug and rub and tug and pull some more. Got it off, but that took like a good half hour. Okay, I tried installing the other seal, and we'll see how this works. So how'd it turn out? I finally made it all the way out to my parents' place in rural northwestern Illinois, so let's take a look. Here you can see the back lift gate of the car. The rubber seals applied pretty well. Here's a view from the back right side of the trunk. You can see that the seal sits pretty flush to the edge of the gate. I think it looks pretty decent. I can feel it when I lift it, but it's not a big deal. Now let's take a look at that frunk. The seal, just like in the back, sits pretty flush to the edge of the frunk lid. Again, I think it feels fine. It closes fine. When I pop the frunk, I do feel the rubber, but it's really not a big deal at all. Here we have both the A-pillar and B-pillar seals. They attach to the front portions of each of the doors. Now, taking a look at the driver's side front door, the seal is fine at the top, but then I applied it right at the very bottom where the instructions showed to do it, and it mushes out when I close the door. This is obviously a problem. Now, taking a look at that back passenger door, it's fine. Here's what those front passenger and driver seals look like as they get pushed out underneath the door. Now, this is not something I would want, so I'm going to have to remove these seals and put them back on. Here's the passenger side front door, and it just pops right out when I close the door. Aside from those two seals, I have to say you really can't see them, or if you do, they're not that obvious or they don't look bad. That's the A-pillar in front of the driver's side door, and that's the B-pillar between the front door and the back door on the passenger side. I think they look fine. I have some good news and I have some bad news. The good news is that I have decided, while I'm here in Illinois visiting my parents, to spend the money and get some paint protection film applied to the car, as well as a ceramic coating. That's gonna happen in about 5 days. The bad news is that means I have to take off the seals from the door. And as you saw a couple of minutes back, that sticky rubber stuff that connects the seal to the door is a major pain in the butt to get off. So I'm gonna use one of my mom's hair dryers and see if that'll warm it up. And if not, my stepdad has like a heat gun, and I'll put it on super low and kind of keep it away from the door. But I would love to not repeat that insane work that I had to go through the first time to get that first seal off on all the other doors. So when the car gets its paint protection film and the ceramic coating applied this week, once that's done and I get the car back, I'm gonna go through and put new seals back on the doors, and then I'll take the car out for a drive and I'll see if it's quieter. Welcome back. I've got the car in my hands again. Really happy about that. It's got the lovely paint protection film and also that ceramic coating applied. I'll make a video about that a little bit later. Now, I actually found out that I didn't need to remove the seals from the car in order for that procedure to be performed. The paint protection film is only applied to the front bumper, the front hood, and then the side fenders, so there would have been no issue with wraparound on the doors. But I kind of screwed up, to be honest, when I applied it the first time, so I'm glad I took it off. I've got the replacement seals in my hands right here. I'm gonna put these on real quick. I'm gonna take the car for a drive and see if this car is quieter with this noise reduction kit. Welcome back. It's the next day and I am on the road again from Western Illinois out to New England for a couple weeks, driving at 50 miles per hour. I'm gonna bring the car up to 75, which is where I used to hear a whole lot of wind noise coming in the car. And then I'm gonna listen to see, in a very unscientific test, if these road noise reduction seals and these wind noise reduction seals actually work. So I'm gonna put it into autopilot. I'm up at 75 miles an hour. And I'm gonna listen to that back right passenger door. That noise is now gone. Any passenger who used to come into my car, they could hear that wind coming in that rear passenger door. It's gone now. That makes me really happy. I also used to get some wind noise kind of coming in on these like B-pillars. And I'm gonna listen at least to the driver's side one. That sounds great too. There's no wind noise coming in along the base of the door where you saw that seal, and then also up along the edge. And then there's a B-pillar seal that goes there as well. It sounds great. I am really happy. I get the feeling that for the first time in 6 months, I'm gonna be able to listen to a podcast and I'm gonna be able to listen to nice, quiet, relaxing music because of these seals. So thank you, RPM Tesla. Your kit works. I'm really happy about that. To wrap up this video, I'm gonna hand out 2 dings to Tesla and then give you 2 pro tips if you decide to install these seals yourself. Ding number 1, Tesla, the seals around the windows and the doors, they should just be a little bit better. At this price point, we really shouldn't hear much wind noise coming in at all. Ding number 2, and I'm apparently the only person who has this problem, it's not that the seals around the corner of my windshield were bad, it's that they don't exist. So I had to take my own little rubber seals, cut them up and put them in. It looks pretty ugly, but it seems to be working. But Tesla, why? When I brought in my car for the brake repair a couple months back, I had them take a look at the windshield and then drive it and see if they thought there was any excess noise. They swore up and down there wasn't. Tesla, it's not true. Anyways, I have not heard from anyone who watches my videos that this has been a problem for them at all. Now, 2 pro tips. Pro tip number 1, if you're installing these seals on your car on the front doors, make sure that when you have the driver's side and the passenger side front seals that are shaped like an L, that you don't install the adhesive part right along the bottom ledge of the car door. Instead, you're gonna raise it up about a 1/2 inch or a centimeter so that when you close the door, the lip that comes off of it doesn't get pressed out underneath the door when it's closed. I did that the first time. It was clearly a mistake. Pull it up about a 1/2 inch, and then when you're installing it, you can even press on it and see if it comes out underneath the door. If you do, your seal is too low, so just pull it up. Pro tip number 2, when you're working on the back doors, the seal doesn't come out toward the ledge of the door. In fact, it's opposite. It curves in toward the door on the inside of the door. So those are different. I made that mistake when I first installed the seal on the back left door. I had to tear it off, remove that sticky stuff, and then get the replacement seals. Don't be me. Make sure you apply the seals in the correct direction. And watch the videos on RPM Tesla. If you listen to my pro tips, you'll be just fine. Final bonus tip regarding that roof seal. I bought it. I'm not totally sure that I needed it because I don't really recall ever having wind noise coming in off the glass roof, but I put it on. I was in Florida and I put it on myself. Let me tell you, you really want to have 1 or 2 friends help you when you put it on, because putting it on yourself is like putting on a fitted bed sheet that's too small for your bed and it keeps popping up off the corners. It drove me bonkers. I put it on one corner and put it on the other. It came off, came off, came off. Drove me insane. When you put it on, though, make sure that you have 2 people standing at the front corners of your car holding it nice and tight. You want it nice and tight, and then you're going to pull the rest of the seal around the back of the roof, and you're going to have a little bit of play on the back part as it goes over the lift gate or around the lift gate, because if it's loose at all on the front of the car, as you get up to highway speeds, that wind is going to go under it and it's going to pop it up. I was driving in Florida. 4 times this happened to me on the highway. I'm going up about 70 miles an hour and then pop, comes right up. Driving down the highway and it's just like flap, 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 flap. It was a joke. So on the 4th time, I just pulled over and pulled the whole thing off. At my parents' house, I had them both stand on each side of the car and then they held it nice and tight and I pulled it back and it's been great. I've been driving for hundreds of miles now. It's even raining, the thing's wet. It's not coming off. Make sure it's nice and tight when you put it on or you're gonna look like a fool driving down the highway. All right, I hope I was able to help you. If you have any questions, reach out in the comments below. Thanks for coming along on the ride and I hope you have a great day.